Hi, I am Justin of the Rusty Rubies. I am here with the developers, writers, marketing. I'm sorry, what was your?
Chief Operating Officer.
Chief Operating Officer of Kings Isle. If everyone here can kind of just introduce yourself. I know I just kind of asked you, but if you could just introduce yourself.
I'm Leah Rubin, otherwise known as Professor Falmea on the forums and in the community, and I'm Kings Isle's Chief Operating Officer, like we said before.
I am Sam Johnson. The community knows me as Blind Mew. I am the narrative director of the studio, and I've been at Kings Isle since 2010. I'm the writer guy.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Ginsberg. I'm the head of marketing at Kings Isle and Gamigo, and so pretty much anything public-facing comes out of my department, and I get to work on fun stuff like this booth.
Oh man, it has been, I think you said about a year, right?
Yes.
You said about a year. So the last time we talked, Kings Isle, the company was doing fantastic. You guys had said that you had a lot of growth from the previous year, and then you guys had Wizard 101, Pirate 101. So since we talked last, has there been any big changes since then?
Oh, just a few.
Yeah. So since we talked last, we have kept doing what we do. We have kept putting out updates, and the games are still doing marvelously. The big news is that we're going to make another game. For the first time since 2012, we're going to release a new title. And it's not what you think it might be. We had a Steam page go up for it a little while ago, so we kind of had an announcement. It wasn't full on, but the game is called Ravenwood Academy.
I saw the outside.
We have a short little tidbit that you can play here.
Oh,
I wouldn't call it a full demo, but
It's about
so basically
5 minutes.
it's about 5 minutes, and we'll let you do it after we're done here.
Appreciate it.
So Ravenwood Academy is different, not an MMO.
Okay.
It is a single player game, one-time purchase. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it is a narrative story-focused game. At its core, it has a little virtual novel going on. You are playing a specific character with a specific past, issues from your past will come up in flashbacks, and there are things in your past that you are trying to make peace with. You are going to Ravenwood. When they hired me in 2010, and I played Wizard for the first time, my first note was, "You say this is a wizard school. I'm not going to school."
Right.
And in the back of my mind, ever since, and like after 2017, when I took over writing for Wizard,
Yes, sir.
in the back of my head, there's always been, we've never been to school at Ravenwood.
Right.
And when they said, "Hey, we're thinking of making a single-player game, and what game should we make?" And I was just like, me.
It's like he's in class.
Right, in class.
Yeah.
Academic-based life sim. And that's what we're doing. So Ravenwood, it has three main elements. There is a life sim where you manage your time based on who you know and where you go. You can unlock activities to do when you have free time. They will boost your stats. Stats like smarts or popularity or courage. And then, so, it's Friday night, dinner is over. I have one thing to do before I have to go to bed. Am I going to go to the party with my friends and raise my popularity? Or am I going to go to study hall and raise my smarts? I have a test next Friday, and how I do is going to depend on what my smarts are.
Oh, what's your status?
Yes, exactly. We drew a lot of inspiration from Persona.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Okay, well, hang on.
Is that
We'll
a
get
good
there.
thing?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
So,
Okay.
one of the things that has been a passion of mine forever, thinking about like other stuff that I was working on before I ever came to Kings Isle, it's that Peter Parker dilemma. It's the, I am living my life, but can I balance my life with the stuff that needs to be done? So with this life sim, you get to choose. Do I raise my popularity so that popular person will talk to me, or am I going to do better on the test next week? Or my smarts are pretty good, I'll let that one go. And so that's component number one. Component number two, again, like a certain game, we will build relationships with fellow students. You spend time with them, you talk to them, the player will speak. you will have dialogue. We won't VO it,
Right.
but you will have choices that you pick.
Excellent.
And which choice you pick, depending on who you're talking to, will moderate the rewards that you get out of that scene.
Excellent.
So the people you click with, you will build relationship much faster.
Right.
And this relationship, however many ranks it has, basically each one of those ranks is a scene, a sequence.
Right.
So this is a storyline where you will help them deal with their problems. And if Wizard was elementary, middle school, this is a high school narrative.
Okay.
This is coming of age.
Okay.
Your friends will be dealing with some stuff, and some of it might be a little heavy.
Yeah.
But we're still King's Isle. We're not going to go too far. But as we have in the past in Wizard and Pirate, sometimes we want to talk about real stuff.
Absolutely.
And I really want to take the approach that you see in like the Breakfast Club, not the language,
Right.
but the notion that the things these kids are worried about, we're going to treat them as real things.
Right.
We're not going to tell them that doesn't matter, because right there it does matter.
Right, it does matter. Yeah.
And so you will have stuff, baggage from your past that is a big deal, and you are going to work through it.
Right.
And in your inner monologue, you may end up deciding why you are making peace with it. So, so we got life sim, we got relationships, and the third thing is the mystery solving. So,
Okay.
instead of a JRPG or a standard fantasy RPG with quest chains and killing 10 rats,
Yep.
something will happen. There'll be a big event. Something weird goes wrong, and you get blamed for it. And in a week, there's going to be a disciplinary hearing. So what do? You go talk to people.
Yeah, people figure it out.
You ask the right questions.
Oh.
You finally find the guy who saw
and
it.
the stats that you have.
Yeah, your stats will help you. Are you
Yeah.
popular enough to talk to that guy? And so
He may defend you.
yeah.
Oh, he might defend you?
Yeah.
Or finally I talk to somebody and they're like, oh no, I saw the dude had a black cape. Bing, piece of evidence.
He's a
Ace attorney.
Yes.
Yep.
There,
Objection.
we're looking at 2 or 3 different sources,
Okay.
and we're also trying to figure out what we want it to look and feel like.
Right.
Yeah, we're not going to just rip Ace
Right,
yeah.
attorneys.
Of course.
Yeah.
One thing we're playing with is the idea of like a card game, where like a specific piece of dialogue or a piece of physical evidence I find is a card, and the stuff that I'm getting from my friends is cards too. And so like think of Uno, how you have suits.
Yeah.
Well, the 3 pillars of rhetoric, ethos, pathos, and the other one. Yes, logos. So it's like, okay,
Thank you.
you can build yourself to argue on emotion, you can build yourself to argue on logic, or you could build yourself to argue on the other one. And so, so some things might work better with some people than others.
Right.
Again, nothing is firm here yet. If it's a card game, that'll be great because Wizard's a card game.
Yeah.
But it might end up with some other metaphor.
Of course.
But what we don't want is to write a courtroom scene with 1,000,000 lines of dialogue that takes an hour to play.
Right.
So really, we'll have the scene where they come in and begin, and then we'll go to some kind of resolution screen.
Right.
Where this is my inventory of evidence. I've got 6 pieces of evidence. They want 3 things. I put 3 things up there. We figured out.
Oh, that's fine.
And
Yeah, that's so cool.
so this is what we're going to do instead of combat, basically.
Yeah.
So we can use a watered down version of this, and you might be able to throw your stat in there. If I'm really persuasive, then I can use that to help, or I can change the value of these things. So we can use this same system to talk down a bully. We can use this same system to join a club, convince them that we're cool enough, or to get your professor to give you extra credit on the test because you were looking for clues instead of going to study hall. And so we want these systems to feed each other.
It sounds really in depth though. Like it sounds like a really in-depth system.
Well, what I'm talking about now, I have no idea how much of it's going to make it to the finish line, but this is what we want to do.
Right, it's what you're looking at.
We don't just want to make a virtual novel, we want to make a game.
Right.
There will be a system under it.
Right.
And at the very least, the life sim will be there.
Yeah.
And the mysteries will be there. How the mechanics of it work,
Right.
there's
We're still talking early development.
Right,
well,
of course.
there's 2 or 3 different models that they're banging on, and once they get in shape, we'll do A/B testing and we'll figure out the one we like the best.
Right.
That's down the road. Right
we'll
now,
release more trailers and talk with y'all.
Once we have things to show for systems, we will show them. But right now, okay, so the opportunity arose about a year ago, and we started thinking about it, and we decided academic life sim, and then the question came, well, how are we actually going to build the freaking thing? Who's going to build it, and how can we build it without derailing Wizard and Pirates release schedules?
Right.
And so we kind of held for a long time, but then some things have gone very well. We put up a Steam page and got a lot of attention, and so resources were made available to us, and now we have begun to work in earnest on it. So I want to say
5 months?
about 5 months we've been working on it, and we built a vertical slice with one version of the trial system, and we played it and did not like it.
We learned.
And
Like he was talking about the multiple, like not hour, but like half an hour, 45 minutes of courtroom. We're like, this isn't. No, we need to do something different.
It took us forever to play it, and I'm like, and we're going to VO all this. Oh my god! And so we're building it in Unity. It is going to be for PC, you name it, we got it. Console, everything. And so there was a lot of work that was initially done. Basically, Art was working on pipeline stuff. What does it take to get Wizard art assets into Unity? How do they look? How do we want this game to look? Our art director has a very particular look he wants. And we're not there yet, but we're getting close. And so they did all of this work, and we ended up with all of these Wizard assets that were transformed. And we were like,
oh, that's beautiful.
This is gorgeous. We should show this. And so we were like, okay, well, none of the systems are working, but because we're working with Unity, because we have these add-on modules, we can do dialogue. And so we created a sequence that it imitates what the gameplay is going to be like. You can talk to people. There are dialogue choices. You're probably only going to get to play it once, but depending on the choices, you might get more of a reward for the conversation if you just say one thing versus the other. And then we're setting up tone, and there you go. We want to give you a feel for what it's going to look like eventually. We're using old Wizard assets for some of these characters, but they look really different.
Is there an antagonist?
Yes.
You don't have to go too deep into it.
I was going to say.
But I was just wondering if there was an antagonist.
Yes. And did I already talk about the time frame?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. It is a prequel. It is set decades before Wizard 101.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
That's
so
canon.
and if you know the 5 boxes, something like Halston being a student or Dahlia Falmea being a student, we're going to lean into that. So some of your professors you will go to school with. Other professors will still be professors, but the younger versions of them might be hard to recognize. So you're going to see lots of old familiar faces in new ways. That's the main thing that we want to do. So my goal was to get you to see Ravenwood in a different way and to do things at Ravenwood that you've never done before. We're going to have a cafeteria. You're going to eat lunch there. Who you sit with might affect your stats. So this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a new experience, and I finally wanted you to go to school at Ravenwood. And
are you actually able to take classes?
Well, you're going to automatically, so like Persona, most of your class spaces are going to be pre-filled for you, and you're not going to go to class every day. We don't have that kind of runtime. But every now and then, you will have a class vignette that will pop up where there's an interchange or a piece of dialogue that might be important and might result in some stat rewards. So there's a little example of the sorts of things that I'm thinking about for that in the demo, because that was what we could produce. And in the demo, you get lots of little rewards. It won't be that fast and furious in the final game. But, we just wanted to show it off and let you know that it's there.
Absolutely. Are we able to record the...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Only if you show it to lots of people.
Oh, and you know we are. That's what we do.
All right.
I love the interconnectivity, though.
Oh, dude.
Making it like, this is a universe that we created.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We all live there.
Yeah. So, if there is a big bad and his fate is not determined, he might show up in Wizard someday. Or there are questions lingering from the Wizard timeline that might deal with Ravenwood that you might find hints or an answer to. You know, if you know Ravenwood, that we will have lots of candy for you.
Right.
But we will also have new characters and rich stories. If you don't know Ravenwood, it's a cool world. It's a rich narrative mystery game. And yeah, my goal is, you know, people who play Wizard will love it. People who can't do a full-time MMO job anymore, but who love Wizard 101, come back to the Spiral. Experience a cool story, have some fun.
Right. Something to bring like old people, old players back, and new players getting something.
Exactly. That's the goal. And
is Pirate 101 and Wizard 101 still doing good?
oh yes, Pirate is slowly making strides.
Okay.
We are putting out updates 2 or 3 a year, and we can't release content like we did in the past, but we are releasing episodes.
Right.
We've done one earlier this year, and we're doing another one soon. And again, resources are tricky, but we have been able to demonstrate with the last few releases that if we build it, people do come.
Yes.
And so
Yep.
we're convincing the higher-ups that if they give us more resources and we make more stuff, hey, we could do good. So
Right.
Pirate, ever since it got on Steam, we got a boost of population,
Okay.
and that has basically started a ball rolling. It's not rolling as fast as I'd like,
Right.
but there is movement, and we are working on it because I'm the only one who knows how to write pirate quests. I've been freaking busy this year. It's like, oh yeah, make this thing happen, and we need another pirate update. And a what? Yeah, so
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
it's okay. It's been a heck of a year. I'm overjoyed, and my writers are great.
Nice.
Yeah, one of my writers in particular, no game industry background, but has a background in theater, has mounted productions in New York off Broadway, and we brought her in, and there was a point where we were working on that vertical slice, and I was just like, oh, I hate writing these scenes, and because it was different, and I was like, is this easier for you to write or harder for you to write? So this is great. This is drama. This is characters and motivations and goals and talking. I could do this all day.
I'm in it.
I was like, all right, good. You are now point person on this project. Congratulations. I'll need this much at the end of next week. So so that's where we are.
Fantastic.
Yeah. By the end of this year, I am hoping that we are in full production and working like dogs on it. Yeah.
Please understand, whenever we come to a PAX event, one of the first things I look for is King's Isle. Like, I love talking to you guys. Just the fact that when you saw us, you were like, you guys look familiar. Oh
We
man.
won all our prizes at our party. Hey, you know?
I have my little plushie sitting here.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, man, love you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, you
And,
guys are fantastic.
and again, one of my favorite parts of my job is talking to the community, talking to the players, and talking to press people, talking to media. Yeah, I love our games, and I want everyone to love them as much as I do.
I know I wasn't a part of the conversation you guys initially had last year, so it's a pleasure to sit in.
Oh yeah.
But overall, just seeing, like I said to you last year, seeing Pirate 101 and Wizard 101 still be as strong as it is, and talking to you, hearing that it's stronger than it's ever been, and that regardless of how long the ball might be moving, it's moving.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
A few days ago, we actually just announced that Wizard 101 is coming to console for the very first time.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that is fantastic.
Yep. And last year in all the press events, they said, well, what's next? And me and Artie, we kept saying our goal, because we couldn't say much, is that soon players will be able to play Wizard 101 in all sorts of different ways. And nobody picked up on it, but that's what we meant.
I did what I did?
Huh? I don't know if we're going that far yet. Yeah.
it's obviously something we're considering, right?
Yeah.
Because we are looking for all the different platforms and spaces.
We'll go to Switches and Steam Decks and PlayStations and Xbox Ones first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Switch is a magic word.
Oh, yeah, man.
Or
Dude.
Steam Deck.
Oh.
This is difficult. We are a big game.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's a lot
of
of-
crunch in there.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts, I'm sure.
So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that is fantastic. Oh my god.
And so the other thing that we're here, I mean, we didn't personally work on it,
Okay.
but did you see the Fate display over there?
I did. I saw it. Yeah,
So
yeah,
you guys know Fate from back in the day? It came out in '05. It was one of the first action RPGs. The guy who made it went on to do Torchlight. I don't know if you know that game.
Really?
Okay, yes. And so Wild Tangent, the group that made that,
Yeah, Wild Tangent.
they're part of the Gamigo group. And they looked around and they went, the 20th anniversary of Fate is next year. And so they have remastered it. They took all 4 of the original games, put them into one. They are upgrading the UI and the visuals to suit modern standards.
Wow.
They're keeping everything else the same as they can keep it, and they're re-releasing it. And the funny part is, now we're the nostalgia booth at both ends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because we got the,
I can't wait to see whatever the 20th anniversary logo looks like.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Wizard 101 was my childhood, and then the people over here are like, oh, dude, Fate?
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
Like,
it's a hell of a year this year.
so how is it like when you get essentially like older players who come and see your game or see Fate and just kind of go nuts like that? Like how does that feel?
It's so rewarding.
It's fun.
It is so amazing.
Yeah. With Fate, I mean, when Fate came out, I was working myself to death at a startup, so I never got to play it.
Okay.
But to see that excitement, and then to see the Wizard excitement especially, yeah, man, it's the greatest thing in the world. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm sure that's kind of what kind of keeps you guys like pushing, right? It's the fact that, you know, when you come to these events and you see older gentlemen, ladies come and see King's Isle and see what you guys are putting out, like, and just get so hyped for that.
Yeah.
Especially when, you know, some of them probably haven't played games in a while and really kind of probably fell in love with Fate and now kind of might even get back in the game.
Yeah.
So I met somebody today that has been playing Wizard since forever, since she was a kid. It made her go into game design. She's now graduating this year, in May, actually, next year. And she was just so excited to talk to us about like, oh, you know, maybe I can intern, maybe I can get a job. And like, we've had a lot of that. We've had a lot of people that grew up playing Wizard, went to college, got jobs, and now they work with us.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh.
That's what Haley did.
Prime example.
Yeah.
A little over 10% of the team is from community. Yeah.
Wow.
And they know the game, and they know the community, and it's great.
And you guys are hiring the right people.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
We have associate designers who all came out of the community, who, you know, when they get on Discord and they talk, the other players listen because the other players know them.
Right, they know.
It's
Yeah.
really cool.
That's actually that's clutch.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it
yeah.
actually is. It's fantastic because you never hear about companies doing that. They don't bring in people who love the game into the, like maybe the fighting game community, but only because they're just trying to make sure that it'll sell well to other people.
Yeah.
But like people who actually fall in love with the game and like want to come into the company and then go, no, what can we do to help make our love for this game better? And like that's
I played
fantastic.
Wizard for 7 years before I was hired here. I was well known in the community, and I actually toured their office 3 or 4 times just as a fan.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I helped build that rapport before I worked here. And now
Right.
I'm the head of marketing. So
Because she knows the game and she knows the community.
Yes.
How do we excite Wizard 101 players?
Right.
She knows.
Right.
Yeah?
Right. I mean, and it's always good to come from somebody who comes from that because they're the ones that are going to get excited.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. She also got a degree in marketing, but we're where she is using it.
Yeah. Nice.
I know
Very
it's
good.
man, King's Isle does a lot of different things than other studios. I mean, King's Isle brings people in intending to keep them
right.
and not dump them 2 months
Right.
before ship.
Bro, especially with all the
It's
layoffs and stuff.
beautiful, and in the past 2 years we've been having as an industry, it's depressing.
Yes.
It's depressing.
Really.
And every time we run our podcast episode, we have to talk about layoffs.
Yep.
And it hurts us because we don't want to talk about that.
And it's every week too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
things going on.
It's
Yes.
the weekend, and I say that the weekend around.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
No, it's yeah.
There was 1 week I think we were like, oh, we don't have to talk about layoffs this week, and then the very next week we had to talk about layoffs.
Yep.
It's beautiful to see that your
Absolutely.
company is so strong.
We're
Yeah.
Community,
Yeah.
knowing what is the fact that you guys are connected, and that it's not just about the money. The money is important, but you guys are in it for the passion. You guys are in it for the community. You guys love what you do.
We do?
And it shows very
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And this is why we come back here every time.
We
Glad-
appreciate you.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We love
So-
you guys' enthusiasm. Even the first time I think when we spoke, we kind of asked the question, and you just kind of took off, and we were just like, "Hey,
That's-
let them talk,
yeah.
let them cook,
That's
let them
that's
cook."
that's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, but it was fantastic though, because one of the things that I took away from our experience with you was the passion for the project. Like, and that's the one thing I think I've told Darren about talking with developers about is hearing the love of the project, like, and all the passion and hard work that kind of goes into it, only to have a nice like exhibit. And
Yeah.
then have people come in and go, oh, Fate's coming out. Oh, Wizard 101, Pirate 101. Yeah, give it. Like, what
Yeah,
I mean? It's fantastic.
There are games I was this passionate about early in my career that were never this successful.
Right.
It's really nice
Right.
to put that passion on the line and to have it pay off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
God, I love coming here so much.
At the end of the day, it seems like it's all been paying off.
Yeah.
It's we have challenges.
Yeah.
We
It's
just
still work.
I just got it's like, okay, we've conceived of a really good game. Now we have to build the freaking thing.
Right.
But we're getting there. Yeah.
Congratulations,
All
guys.
right.
We look forward to all the further success.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Did you get to play the
Not
demo?
yet, but I will.
Okay.
Not yet, but I will.
If we're really crowded now, come back.
Oh, absolutely.
You're here the whole time,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Okay. Yeah, I bet on Monday it'll be easy to get a
Okay.
demo if you can't get one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys so much.
Of course,
as
yeah.
always, you guys are great.
Thank you so much.
All right.